Good evening to the KAA tribe. This is Cyndy, and I just wanted to welcome you guys back live. Today we have a guest, and before we can start chit-chatting, I always have my husband check for me for audio, and if everything is kosher, and I see he has given me the thumbs up. So this morning, my time, Kenya time, we have Sylvia Mochabo. Sylvia, I will let you introduce yourself, and the topic today is disability cards and benefits. So Sylvia, take it away.
All right. Hi, everyone. Hi, fellow caregivers, parents, therapists. My name is Sylvia Mochabo. I'm the founder of Andy Speaks, and we advocate for the entire neurodiverse community, for policy inclusion, and for that, like now, our rights are heard. And for today, we're discussing the disability card, a topic that I think I've been chasing for inclusion with the National Council for the past 1 year. We've had quite a number of meetings, and I've asked all the questions, the whys, and also with the COVID situation, there's some clarity that all of us are mixed up about, which fund is what happens where. So I'm here to help you with that and just shed light and clarify all the questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sylvia. Thank you so much for actually joining, because there's been so many questions about the disability card. I'm still learning about the cards and the benefits, and just having you here will shed some light as far as the process of getting the disability card. So let's start with, what's the process of getting this disability card?
So the first step is usually, they say that you can start the process online, which is getting the forms, and then you go for medical evaluation. So the evaluation is done. We have county offices, and just to clarify, I don't work for the National Council. I don't vouch. I am just
disclaimer.
Yeah, let's just put a disclaimer, because I know I've been confused for that. But all I've done is, like, when you work with someone so hard, as in I've been poking them for so long that I've actually just had everything at my fingertips. Yeah. So generally, you start with your registration. You take your child for assessment. So there are specific assessment days in different assessment centers. Like, for example, in Nairobi, where most people actually are forced to come, we have Mathare Hospital, we have Mama Lucy, we have the spinal injury, we have Mbagathi. That's where the days when they say that there is assessment, it means for us as the neurodiverse community, the disadvantage we have is we have to have 5 doctors. So 5 doctors have to assess you. So if you go like any day and then you find maybe another doctor is not there and it's specific days, then you have to do this coming and going back. After you fill your forms and all the assessment is done, you'll be given back the forms. So there are parents who opt to take the forms themselves, and there are those who opt for it to be done by now, that go through the process. So from here, after it's done, the forms are taken to the Ministry of Health. That's in Afya House. And that's where the most backlog is. Because at Afya House, there is only one person who's authorized to sign and approve you for the disability card. Yes, across the country.
God. So are you kidding me?
In the entire country, we only have one person's signature. So what we've been lobbying behind the scenes as advocates for inclusion is that signature is devolved. The same way we have National Council offices at, like, your DO's offices in different places. Right. So we're also saying, how about then that signature is also devolved? But the side of the story is it will give room to also a lot of fraud. You see, so that's why they're trying to control that signature. But as we've seen, we're having people having 1 year waiting and stuff like that, and documents getting lost. And that's one of the challenges that they're trying to get rid of. But what has been admitted, the backlog is at Afya. So after Afya, when the signature is appended, the forms go back now to Nyayo House, I think 6th floor, room something. I'll check it and tell you. Then they go to 6th floor, where now they're digitally uploaded onto the National Council system. Yeah. Then after uploaded, actually printing the cards take like 5 minutes after all these other things are done. Then now they sort them according to counties, and then they dispatch them to counties or the point. Normally you say where you want to collect from, and most of the time it will be the same center point where you applied for. Yeah, if you apply for it, like say in Thika, like when we had the mass registration in Thika, so you'll find it there. For those who must have known, we were planning to have 2 mass registrations in March and April, and then Corona sadly happens. The advantage of that, like when us as Andy Speaks were organizing now the medical camps plus the registration, what we wanted is we were ready to bring the people to take the photos, so they won't tell you bring an ID, go, you don't have a photo, you don't. We had opted to, we'll bring you a camera. You know, when you cut off all excuses, you
Yes.
bring your doctors, we
Yeah.
bring you the camera, we bring you the internet, upload it here and now, and if possible,
Perfect.
let you Nini. So that's what that's how we were trying to work. Then now that way, because you see, we were working with the school system, like when we were celebrating now cerebral palsy and stuff. For the Sunshine Rally, that way we'd send them to schools. You see, that's easier for a parent. So that means you don't have to keep moving and stuff like that. So when you hear there's a mass registration, you have a better advantage, because that's when you're sure within 1 month. But this other paperwork, you can imagine, it leaves the hospital. By the time, let's say you're doing it in Tharaka or something like that, it comes to Nairobi. So you know, this is Kenya's government. Paper, hatuoni makaratasi yako will be very regular, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why we advocate for, when you hear there is mass registration, when there is an event, take advantage of that. Because that one, I know, like for me, my kids took 2 weeks and it came back reading mental, and I told them my kids are not mental. Can you please take back your card? I want a proper one. Proper diagnosis, it is autism. I want to see autism. And within 1 week, it was replaced. Because you see, you've already done all the others, so it's just printing of the card. So yeah, that is generally what the process is like. And at the moment, I know under the COVID, there is a group that there is for the leaders in in different disability groups where we sit in, and we're being asked to shed light on what challenges we go through. So these are some of the things we're going to air. So if there's someone who has registered and have not gotten their cards yet, like the same way we've been doing the analysis, I'll try and put it together, then we can forward them as a batch. So that now you put the details, then they can hasten the situation and try and find out what the issue is. So that was one of the things that had been advised from that platform, that if you have, like now for me, I'll be speaking for the neurodiverse, not about the people who have physical challenges. And even in our subgroups, because what we did is, after I was added, we added now other leaders, like EDAT, we have T21, that's the Down syndrome, and also we have the CP leaders. So I brought them on board because we all have different viewpoints, we have different experiences. So maybe there's something as a different parent you might have experienced that I didn't. Because for me, I wouldn't know, apart from now prompting and listening to other parents, I haven't gone through that shift of sending 20, assessments. And remember, the card, the only thing you pay for should be the assessment. Depending on the hospital, it should be between 500 to 1,500, not more than that. Because when we were doing the assessment, also the survey, someone said that they were told they can't get their card because they hadn't finished paying, and it's something you don't pay for. It's for free. The card is for free. It's just the assessment. So yeah, let's not get doped by all these middlemen who could be there.
So I have a question. When you say the assessment, you require 5 doctors. Can you explain that, who the doctors are? If it's a psychologist and so forth. So that way the parents know what to expect.
Okay. So you have there is the education assessor.
Okay.
You have the psychiatrist. You have the neurologists.
Okay.
What was the other 2? I am not sure. I don't like talking of what I'm not sure of, but I know for sure it takes 5. So unless I can send a quick text, ask my on the ground, and then when they respond, then I answer that question. Is that okay?
That's perfect.
For later?
Yeah.
So that when they respond, then now I can also guide correctly.
Okay, and when you go to the assessment centers, right, all these doctors, the reports are compiled. So you're lucky if you find all 5.
All 5, yes. So if you find all of them, then you're lucky. So that's why they say you'd rather know which day. Actually, or the other thing we need to make use of is their website. If you go to the National Council website, you have like in your area the list of who's in charge. So what we've done, as Andy speaks, there is an info hub where we're trying to make life easy for parents, so you don't have to go so many places. We're trying to incorporate all this information for you. So like now, like we have that list of the people on there, and I think it's under. We've created a link to National Council as part of the support teams for us as the neurodiverse community. So we've shortlisted and it's there. But still, if you go to their website, then and you go under the disability card, you will be able to see that also.
Okay. Yeah. And so as far as the mass registration, who organizes the mass registration? Is it like different organizations?
No, it's the mandate of the National Council to do it. But if you're having an event, like now for us as Andy speaks, we can tell them we're having this event. Kindly plug in and come and do this for us, because we'll have the parents there. Because you can imagine when you're doing all these lines and going to hospitals, the way it is very frustrating for us, the long lines and all that, our kids can't stand that. So as much as it is one pain for another, in terms of even if you go for a mass registration, you'll still be in line, but you see, you'll be with people who understand you.
Correct. Yeah.
And it will be
faster. It's a conducive environment.
Yeah. And it will be faster in terms of, so you're saving your 1 day versus 20 trips back and forth chasing something.
Yes.
Yeah. So something's got to give, yeah.
So with the mandate, right, can they go to schools on different days of the week, or what's the plan there? I think that would be easy to go to the special schools and do it there. I mean,
their school, but you see now someone has to prompt because there is a budget to it.
Okay.
Doctor paid, like I know we all know Gava, sitting allowance and all those things. So you have to apply. You apply, then they approve it, then they'll respond to you and tell you we've approved coming to your event. And yes, this is what we need. This is how like we contribute. You will. I will.
Let them in, Mom.
Yeah, that's Andrew. He's woken up and he can just hear my voice, so he's about to take the door down.
Yeah,
so we'll try survive. Yes. So generally, that's it.
So they have to be prompted.
So I've asked. Let's see. So the county medical reports normally are taken to Nyayo House, 6th floor, room 1.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like usually sorted in terms of month and assessment and location. Then now they're dispersed from there, to the HQ in Westlands. Yeah. For those who don't know where the main, so if you have issues, actually, you can come to West. The head office is here next to Safaricom, and they all of them are in the same compound. APDK, like the Jaipur foot, and even where if you want, like for us, our children who have flat foot and need the insoles and wheelchairs and all that, they're all in the same compound actually.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. That's very convenient.
So even if you say, let's say like APDK normally does very subsidized therapy. I think they 50 bob or something like that.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so you can go there and then you can actually become a member of APDK, and then now you get those subsidized fees. They let you know when something is going on, if they have, the way we have workshops and stuff like that. So that's something most people don't know. And we
that's really good.
Yeah.
And 50 bob is not so bad.
Yeah, and then unless it has gone up.
Okay, well, at least we know it exists.
Yeah, and then apart from that, there is the assistive devices side. This will come for those who maybe need any prosthesis and stuff, to just give you a comparative to know how subsidized actually these services are. First time we were told we need an insole, we went to Aga Khan. I had a quotation of 3,500 for a pair. Wow. When I went to APDK, it was 700 bob. Yes. And
had you not known? What?
So now you see, so like all those things that we need for support for our children are actually available. You might have bureaucracy, but it's a better option compared to when you're trying to save a coin here and there. So you can get some of these things from there.
Lots of red tape, huh? Oh my God. But if you want something so badly, you'll push and push. And I've seen the advocacy you're doing, and you're doing a really great job. And it just doesn't take one person to do this. So it's kudos to you and your organization for what you guys have been really slaving a lot to push the government stuff.
Yeah.
Keep shouting, keep shouting.
We have to.
Yeah.
You know, the one challenge when I sat in one of those offices, because I've gone to the Ministry of Health to still champion for us to get medication either for free or subsidized, because I always tell them, you give ARVs for free, you give condom for free, like why
Oh
is
my
it a big,
goodness, yes.
you know?
Yeah.
Yes, I said that.
Yeah, I know. Good. Yeah, why not? So that was my next question. Yes. That was my next question, was medication. And I know with our kids, some kids have epilepsy, some kids have seizures, some kids have who knows what else. And I know the medicines that are very popular, Rivitrol, I see Epi something, I can't remember. Epilim,
Epra, Tegretol,
Topamax, I saw. Those are all very familiar meds. But so does NHIF cover any of that?
So long as it's under medicine, it is covered. So long as you go to the hospital where you've listed, you know, they've changed the system right now, yeah?
Okay.
You have to say, I'll be attending a specific hospital.
Yes.
Yeah, and that process actually is expiring in the next 3 days. So you need to download the NHIF app, because that star thing is not working. You just download the app and it's very fast. You can do it that way. And you get an SMS immediately that your hospital confirmed is ABCD. You can do for you as a principal and also for your children. So that's the best option. I tried the star thing for 3 days. It didn't work.
Didn't work.
Yeah. So for medicine, so long as you've gone, you've seen a doctor and it's in the process, it will be covered. Therapy is what now we're fighting for cover, because another component, yes, you give dialysis. So why not giving us therapy? It's our equal to dialysis for kidney and cancer and whatnot. You do radiotherapy. So I know most parents were talking about stem cell funding by NHIF. So most of the time, I'm just throwing all the things out there. So because I've had that conversation with NHIF. So behind the scenes for the past 1 year, I don't think there is a government office I haven't knocked and questioned and raised all this. From Ministry of Health, Educational National Council, the Ministry of Labor, like you send a letter in advance, you get a meeting, you get the entire panel of those who are involved, and you get your one. Not that they are inaccessible. I think we just need to push, because there was the challenge of, you guys keep coming. You're coming in many groups. So who exactly are we dealing with? All right? Because CPSK will go for CP, these other guys will go for this one, and then everyone will be like, nyi mumetoka wapi? You understand? Because now is when we are being heard, but we're being heard, on and off. So when I'm saying, like, let's make noise, when I was telling them we need these meds to be for free, the first question I was told, give us the list, we will add them to free medication. I'm like, okay, I only know what my child takes,
Right.
But now I gathered the information, and then it's in the process. But then also talking to the wrong person. So we've already now been connected with the correct person who is in charge. There is actually a department called Family in the Ministry of Health that handles special needs children.
Okay, we'd like to have all that info, because at least some parents, we have so many groups. So it's good to have all this information shared across all the organizations. So at least people know where to go for what. And so let me tell you something. So autism has really not been recognized. They're still looking at disability as visible. So anyone in a wheelchair, anyone in crutches, anyone with CP, any visible anything, they're just recognizing that. So autism it works for us and it works against us, because now they're like, Susa, this kid doesn't look autistic. So you're like, okay, it's just a misbehaved kid. So proving that they need psychological help, they need neurology, they need all this help, we are yet to prove that. How do you prove to someone who has no knowledge of autism that you need to, cover OT, you need to cover speech, you need to cover ABA, which is, of course, through the roof. There are all these services that kids need, and they still haven't come to terms with autism is an invisible disability. So like ADHD medication, I mean, they'll tell you to take your kid outside. Okay, I always tell parents, take your kid outside to play, right? But then there are some kids who have autism and ADHD, and they actually need some meds to taper down the hyperactivity. Nothing wrong with that.
That's true. So the first thing, as parents, the other challenge is, as parents, yes, our hands are full. So when we say we come out, you'll find it's the same kawaida faces that you're seeing. All right. So that's what the question now I was asked. Where are you guys? So how do you answer that? So I'll always throw it back at them with that excuse, because you've not given us sufficient support. Parents cannot afford to leave their houses to come here. You understand? So you're dodging it, but there needs to come a time when we will call for parents to come out and they actually show up. Remember, if you don't show up, I always say this, sometimes it annoys me, that's the whole truth, because you can do so much, but then without, if you're one person, then it's being looked at, you're just mdomo. It's not about that. Yeah. You've just I have the same challenges. I also would love to be home and just stay at home and do all this, but I'm sacrificing that, because at the back of my mind, the question I always ask myself, if we don't fix the system, as long as it will take, if we don't fight now, these children in the next 10 years, God forbid if anything happens to you, who will continue in the fight? I always admit, even my own mom cannot handle my kids alone without someone else. So you can imagine trying to leave them behind when the systems are not in place. If you don't fight for them as the parents and the people who understand them. Remember, they're not like now the physical guys who will tell you, look, my leg is broken, what do you want me to do? It's not like that. Most of our children can't even speak. They don't even know, there is a different side. All they know is their world. So it is actually our duty to do this championing for them. We have to come out when we are putting out like information, because first we have to educate them. That's the one thing. We have to educate the public, so that if they understand our pain, they will join us in pushing for us our cause.
Correct. Yes.
So if your neighbor does not even know that you have an autistic child and this is it, and have that conversation, so how do we expect the government, which is totally out of reach? So at least let's say we do a campaign and you forward to a neighbor and the neighbor understands your pain, you see, you've already doubled the effect. Then they double
building community.
So we have to take up the mantle. As much as our hands are full, we have to sacrifice with the vision of what is going to happen tomorrow.
Yes, I agree with you. Community, you have to surround yourself with a community, and there's no excuse in championing. Because if you're the only one championing in Kenya, there's other people championing. I'm not dissing anybody. If you're the only one championing and 5 other people are championing, some people are just waiting for you to champion, and then they reap the benefits. But you see, you can only champion so much. And then when they see your child is progressing, they probably will get mad. How come Andrew is getting all these benefits? Mbona misi japata? But you're thinking, wait, I've knocked on every door, and yes, my kid is enjoying the benefits. And that brings me to the next topic of money transfer. Can you talk about money? I saw that question and I was like, oh, there's money. But then who gets money? And I saw that somebody somewhere decides how severe of a disability you have, and then they give you the cash. But who gives that person the permission to say, okay, you're very severe, let me give you the money? Please.
Now, this one is that is a fight.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, like war. This one is like war. It's ongoing. I know I've been bickering a lot on my wall, on the Andy Speaks wall, on Twitter. We do a lot of tweet chats, and for me, I call them out. I would put it there like XYZ, this is not there. But then other than putting it out in public, there is also the behind the scenes. I take myself to the CEO's office and ask XYZ. And that's how you're finding I have all the information, because I have sat with the head of programs, I have sat with the persons who's doing their PR, I've sat with the CEO himself, and I've sat with the CS. So, and questioned, and they gave their side of the story. Yeah. Remember, I gave a disclaimer, I don't work for the
right. Yeah.
The fighting side.
Yeah.
So generally, how it goes, let me speak under this COVID issue, because right now is when it's pinching us the most, right?
Oh, yes.
So there is a structure going on right now. Right now, I know I was also making noise, but sometimes, they say information is power. So sometimes also us guys can look very silly when we are not well informed and we're making noise. So I went to seek clarity, and I called them up and I was like, okay, there is what? It's 10B. I'm like, you know what? I need a double portion of that because I got 2, man. So give me the procedure. So they also throw it back at me. They're like, we are also waiting. I'm like, what do you mean you're waiting? The president said. So apparently there is 2 ministries, actually 3. Ministry of Labor, Ministry of Social, this Ministry of Labor and Social Protection, Ministry of Interior, Ministry of Gender. All right. So the Ministry of Gender, I'll come upward. Yeah. So the Ministry of Gender is the one that normally registers for us the CBOs and the likes. And the secret behind CBOs is if you come up like 7 parents, form a group, you know, the way there is chairmans, you can actually access funds to build each other. All right. That's that ministry. And then now we come now to the Ministry of Interior. So during COVID-19, the government has given the mandate of spending this 10 billion to the Ministry of Interior. This is care of Matiang'i, and you saw they formed that committee. If you go to the page on Andy Speaks, you'll see we've posted for you all the committee members in that. All the committee members who are in that. So them, when it comes to money transfer, if you had the president say there was 500 million or something like that, so that 500 million is for the people who are registered under the cash transfer. This is catering for the orphans, the vulnerable, the widows, and now severe disabilities. Now let's fight about severe disabilities, because that's a fight every forum I have had. Who has the balls to tell me who is severe, who is not? Who has the right to? That was my question. So then, so the answer was, severe defines everyone who needs support to carry out their day. Someone who's bedridden, someone who needs constant care. And I posed the same question. I can't let go of my child for 2 minutes. Even 2 minutes is long. I turn and something is broken. I turn, someone has fallen off the grid. So they were like, yes. So I asked, so we are not registered. People have applied, but but from the survey, what has advised is most people don't know how to apply for the cash transfer. So when I asked them, okay, so tell us, so we tell them, they said, even if you tell people now, there is no one being added on that list. Okay. That list was last revised in 2018. And even in that 2018, there was a changeover of systems. So where you'll find someone said, I received this money for 2 years and it disappeared. So when the change of system was done, there are people who got dropped off. I know for a fact last year they were cleaning up the fakes, the real, the whatever, like they were physically going to the houses to confirm the person is there. All right. So there was a bit of cleanup to ensure that the money gets to the right person. And with that, so they said, I asked them, why are we then not being on that list? Because if you're telling us it's cash transfer, then why are we not on it? They're like, they cannot add people when they don't have the resource to match the demand, you know, the demand supply. So they said until they get someone else to top up the kitty, that's when they can add more. Like now they've done the cleanup. Yeah, they were doing the cleanup to remove the fakes. You know, the thing with physical disability, I can break my leg and I walk to the office and I tell them I need cash support because my leg is broken. And they'll give you money. Yes. So that is it. Then there is, so that's the Inua Jamii cash transfer. So they say they can't add. Right now, it can't help you. So there is the 10B, that is the 10 billion now is under COVID, under the COVID fund, under Matiang'i. So that one, there was a time I posted in groups and I posted on our wall and my wall and said, it has been said, kindly go to register at your chiefs because this one is under government commissions. Even the Mombasa guys who are receiving money, it is not that 10 billion. This is Hassan Joho doing his work. He's the one who's doing it. Imagine, you're not going with another president. So that is Joho's initiative. Nairobi has started, but they're running a pilot. So I'm not sure where and who. And remember, this 10B is for the 2. All right? It's supposed to handle Mombasa and Nairobi, the areas that are under lockdown. And as in we're totally locked up. So that's the explanation that I got. So for now, those ones, make sure your chief knows you exist. Because that's how the money is coming. The difference between the 2 is the one for the chief is sending you 2,000 every week. Okay, that's under the 10 billion COVID relief fund. Then now you have the Inua Jamii. they were having a backlog that the funds treasury had not released the funds for the past 4 months. So that's why you're saying people who are receiving 8K. So those who are arrears, January, February, because normally they give every 2 months, like you get 4K.
Okay.
Yeah, so that has been done as a lump sum. So that's the difference of the different streams of support that are coming through. Now the disability card itself. So when you get the card, what are the benefits? So as a caregiver, you can go and ask for an education support form. Same place I say, Westlands. You apply, and that's where now most people have gotten bursary support. Still, there is bureaucracy. Let this letter come back. That will always be there. But I'm just saying now, like what we've seen, because out of the survey we did from around 360, only 2% have ever received anything from the council, despite 53 of the entire number being registered and having the disability card. So 2%, which is equal to 10 people who have said one received cash transfer, 2 of them received cash transfer for a short period. So they last saw it 2 years ago. Then the rest is school fees. So at least for us right now, because the others with physical disabilities, the other advantage they have is they get tax exempt. Yeah. Yes. In that, if they're working, they don't pay, they don't do a kina pay or something like that. Those taxes things, they have a relief for that. We've been championing in all these forums. You hear who met. With okay, I know I've been attending, and this is the one thing I always say. My child cannot come here. They can't even talk. So what are we talking about tax relief? Yeah. You know, they can't stand here and tell you, oh, I need my cash back and stuff like that. It's me who takes care of them for their entire life. It is me who will, purchase the diapers. Right. It is me who will buy the medicine. It is me as the caregiver who has to pay fees exorbitantly because I want a good education for them, because you as a government have failed to equip our schools, right? But then they're saying, for us, KAA has refused for us to extend. So now the backlog is KAA has refused to extend that exemption to parents, because at the end of it, it comes back to, they say it's being misused, that we're having people who are fake, who are not utilizing. The other thing that we're challenged was the last forum that we sat in was the BBI forum, where we said, okay, you guys always say 5%. You've set up what is this thing for technical schools? But out of all those technical schools, show me one that is dedicated to our children. None. No one could answer that question. Yeah, there is none, because you're saying you're catering for all. Leave alone that. How many high schools? Can I shock you? I requested for the list of schools in Kenya for special needs from the ministry. They have none. Yeah, I'm like, okay, you govern the country and you do not have data of the schools that cater for special needs. Yet we have a department for special needs. Like, who's in charge of that? Mr. Fred Hager is the director for special needs education in that side. So he's the director, and he's the same person. I posed the same questions and I asked. So they say they're working on it when we get the list, because like I said, we're trying to get, you see the way every day we have a parent asking, oh, where is this school? I want a school here. So we're trying to get at least, because we've heard of schools that are also mistreating. We only want schools that are actually registered to be the ones on the database, so that we protect you as a parent. The minute I'm telling you there is this school here and there, it is something that has been vetted, verified. When I'm telling you there is this occupational therapy or that therapist or this service here, it is something that we have done a background check and can stand firm and tell you that, okay, this person is legit. So we're trying to make the information accessible and protect our children and our parents at the same time. So it's a long process. Like if you go to the site right now, you'll see skeleton, but you'll get the education of I saw, yeah. So that's what has been going on behind the scenes. So right now we are working on, I would like to see one person who can tell me, and now this is where, when I'm talking about unity, the other challenge. If you look across CP, us, DS, all of us have the same challenges. We're all in the mirror. We all use the same therapists, the same schools, etc. But when there was this, was it a bylaw or something being passed for autism education? I'm like, when we start, we're shooting ourselves in the foot, all right? Because we're already compartmentalizing ourselves. We are one community. Yeah.
Yes.
So, and it will be against us at some point. So that's what I was saying. If you're posting something, I personally don't know the content, yet it's supposed to be applied to my child. I'd like
Right.
to know one person who knows exactly what the content is. When we asked, even actually on KAA, when we asked the guys who are passing it and lobbying for it, kindly share the document for us to see. No one has ever spoken. Who's behind it and all
I
that?
asked myself, and yeah, there was silence there. So
there was silence. So for us, for me, that's a question. Like, don't take advantage of our situation for other things. Let involve us. That's what I say. The parents have to be part of it. If it's something they're saying, please at least have touch base with the parents. Let it come from us, because we walk the journey. We're the ones who can articulate exactly what is the issue where. But anyway, we are working on a petition to just all these issues that people have been discussing, to see even the ones we have mentioned. Because you see, the thing is, even when we sit in these forums, we say, oh, neurodiverse, we're talking about employment 5%. We can't all fit. You do for us 5% for our neurodiverse community, increase it to 10%, do 5% for physical, let us have our 5%. That was on the floor, and it was read very nicely as a report. But the report that went to whoever who was receiving BBI, it was nowhere. It still remained as 5%. So it's about time.
So it was not even updated.
Unified. It was not. It was said that it is there for PWDs, but it was not put like that point of let's increase it and split it and delegate exclusivity, because you see ours is very special. Yeah, and for it to be extended also, like for me as a caregiver, I'm running a business. That's the only other way you can also extend the same. So there is a lot of bureaucracy, there's a lot of politics that is the fact on the ground. So it will take, I know it will take long, but like I always said when I started, until the day I die, I want to see change. I will do it. I will not tire.
Right.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. I'll knock the doors. Even if I become a lone wolf, it's fine. But at the end of it, at least if I go in front of my maker, I will say, you sent me, I came.
I did it.
And I did my part.
I came, I saw.
I conquered the much I could.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Sylvia, I mean, with all the legwork that you've done, I really applaud you and your team, and just everything that you've gathered, questions, surveys. I think you had posted a survey once, and I think you did like a screenshot, or it wasn't clickable, so the parents couldn't take the survey. So if you do, just post it on KA and parents can take the survey.
I did that.
I said when you have a survey, just share it so parents can answer the questions. And I'll push the parents today to let them know they need to answer these questions, because data, numbers are super critical. You can't just go in front of stakeholders and say, oh, many parents are asking. You have to have
I lost you for a while.
The data. Oh, you can't hear me? Oh, you froze. Can you hear me?
No, it's dragging. It's dragging, so I'm.
Okay, guys, I'm going to have to bring Sylvia back in a few minutes. So give me 1 second. Let's see if I can bring her back. But if not, this is going to be a part 2 of the disability. Oh, I see her. 1 second. Technology is awesome. You dropped for a second.
Yeah, I was like, okay, something went wrong. What went wrong? Yeah, so I had to restart it. Okay,
that's okay.
Sour.
So I was saying, I'm telling parents that we need data. As much as you drop the survey in the group, some parents don't fill it out. So we need the numbers so we can go back to the government and say, hey, we have 55 parents asking for OT speech. So if parents don't really come out and say that, honestly, it's not going to be anybody's fault. It's going to be your fault. Don't come back and complain, oh, I can't get speech. I can't, because you didn't fill out the information. And so the other thing is, lobbying doesn't take 2 days. It could take 5 years. It could take 10 years. And so whatever connections we have, whatever connections I can get a hold of, we can both work together, get all this information done. Because sometimes it takes one signature. I'm still stuck at that one signature.
Yes,
Yeah,
one signature.
that's
Yes,
why I
is
asked you
everything.
what's the process. We can detail the process, see where there's gaps, and then fill out those gaps and get the parents rolling. Because I don't see why we need we have a problem we have a hiccup at the signature. That should not be the case, And
But
I
at
like
least,
your idea. Mhm.
I'm saying at least now they have heard, like we've pushed for that devolution of the signature, and it's being thought of. So at
Okay.
least it has moved from us to them. They're aware, and the council has also escalated the same to the Ministry of Health. The other challenge that we have also in that space, from what I gathered, is you find like when I went and said it is a class, it's a special needs class, which requires for the best output of my child, I need the Ministry of Education to make sure the teacher-student ratio is right. I need the Ministry of Health to bring for us and bring OT and ST within the same setup so
Yes.
that when they work as a team, because when I was doing my research of the status of Kenya and comparing to the US and the UK, that is the one thing. IEP, when I went for my nephew, we were like 6 people in the room. I'm like, you have a social worker who's saying at home he likes, and the parents, both parents are supposed to be there, the class teacher, the head teacher, the therapist, both of them, the eyes doctor. If you're not there, you send your report. But that's where we're supposed to be. And when you go to tell now the Ministry of Health, will tell you that's the Ministry of Education. When you go to the Ministry of Education, they tell you that's the Ministry. I'm like, come on, people. We are one country. We are trying to
No,
serve
they're
our
passing the
community
bucket
here.
because it's not. And that's why I'm saying you have to be the government. Sometimes you cannot wait for them. You have to be the government. Get in the schools and just shuffle how the school does things. Talk to the principal, the headmistress, whomever, and see how you can even change the school. I mean, I'm just saying that's how lobbying happens. So
But you see,
sometimes,
then there is attitude.
well, I mean, you can't.
There is the attitude that we also have to look at.
Yeah. Yeah, attitude is everything. Sylvia, you froze again. But attitude, it's kind of hard to wait for people to fix their attitudes.
No, not just general. Okay, I'll give an example, right? This was for me. I'm speaking what I've had. Like I said, I've not gone through everything. So like what a parent says is what I'll echo even when I sit there. That's why I'm usually very keen listening out to people's experiences, because those are the examples we need to put out there and tell people like, hey, watch, this is what happened. So a parent asked for an IEP at KISE. Remember, KISE is apparently the arm of government that helps
Yes, apparently.
special needs, special ed stuff. And then the parent was asked, do you think your child is special? I'm like, you are the one who's supposed to be implementing and guiding schools. Then you have the audacity to ask me that question. Like, seriously,
Yeah.
we expect progress when things are not done right. Then we end up wasting a lot of resources and say it's not working when we are not adhering to the systems that are set. Other countries have done it, others have done it, and it has worked. Why are we trying to take shortcuts?
Yeah.
Let's just
Some
be
people like
realistic.
the easy way out. So we'll see how we can square that out. Just put a process together. Some people are very visual. So you know what? If they need a visual, we'll put together a visual and say step 1 is this, 2 spread. I mean, they have a diet list. They issue this list of don't eat, don't touch. So we can also do that with the process of getting assessment and money transfer and all that. I'm a process person, so we can put this all together and share across all organizations and schools and who knows, so that they can start accessing and following the process. It really cuts down on drama and stress on the parents, because it's already an overload, like you said. We have our hands full, and somebody in Ministry of Education or health, they're not caring. They're not gonna care. They're gonna be like, enda kwa huyu. Apana toka hapa, enda pale. So by the time you're told go here, go there, you're like, okay, you get frustrated.
I'm done.
Just give up. But then you know what? Who suffers the most? Your kid. Your kid suffers. They miss out. Remember, they're also aging, so they miss out on the assessment. They miss out on the money transfer. The parents are stressed, and now with COVID-19. There's just added stress. Kids are regressing because they're out of sync, So at least when you have the
that's
money, you can say, let me buy them food, let me take them out to play. I mean, limited play.
Yeah.
But at least you can have that access. So Sylvia, we might have to do another part 2 of this, because I know there's going to be a lot of questions. Just send me your availability and we can do another part 2. But really, thank you for lobbying and lobbying. I'm not on the ground. I'm always like, hey, who's got this? I put out a question one time and nobody answered. I said, hey, these are the frequently asked questions. What do you guys need? Can you help me out? And parents didn't really respond. Maybe 5 parents did respond. And I'm like, this is for you, not for me. I'm doing
for
this
me.
for you. So parents, I want to say, I'm begging you, this is for your kids. You must lobby for your kids. Any connections you have, if you're friends with a president somewhere, hey, connect.
Please.
You know, there are people who are friends with Ruto, there are people who are friends with Uhuru. Please hook us up. We don't mind the connection, you know. Some people know somebody in Ministry of Health. I know somebody at Camry. So if you need any questions at Camry, feel free to ask me. I have a relative there. So just really, any connection. Yeah,
I want a connection at the Ministry of Interior, because
I can ask.
That anyone who has, kindly let us, anyone who has at the Ministry of Interior would really help the rest of us.
Yeah.
I will post a report that we've gathered, because I've sat in different NGO podcasts, and also just chipping in on our experiences and listening out to parents' experiences. And I compiled it into one document and we've published it, because when I look at the summary that comes, the team for the blind have done their own. I saw UPDK did it. It's supposed to be apparently an umbrella body, but there was nothing about neurodiversity. So we've gathered the information about what we're going through right now and put out a document. So I know Senator, what's her name? There is Gertrude Musa, that's the, okay. I'm not a politician. I'm not into politics. But there is, tonight, I know there will be discussion about disability. I know tonight on NTV, there will be a discussion. So let's go on Twitter and let's, that's our platform. That's NTV.
And
tag us and all that. And we will whatever. Then we'll channel it to the right people so that at least they hear. So also now, because I'm trust me, I am just listening keenly, because I know I forwarded that to the council, and I'm looking forward to see if we will get any communication back, any support back, because let's not just think physical. And this was my challenge. I earlier had an interview with an international media house, and that's exactly what I told them. You cannot throw a blanket and say disability and expect it to cover everyone, especially for us. Our needs are totally different. Yeah? Our needs are totally... You give me a sanitizer when I can't leave the damn house. It's not going to help me. You understand?
I get it.
You give me a mask. My baby is drooling because of regression. 5 minutes, it's wet.
You need more people.
Look at my... Look at my needs. Meet me where I need you the most. Right now, we have parents who have diet. We need supplements. We need medication. I was even saying, if you give us, even if it's puzzles per family, I can keep that child engaged. We'll keep going. When they're doing the TV things, there are things our kids will get. There are things they will not get because it's too fast. I tried watching Akili. And I'm like, okay, I can only get the song. I'm an adult. I can't catch up with the sing-along for number 1, 2, 3. I'm like, how is my child supposed to be doing this? So our needs are totally different. It's about time they carve it out to match us and meet us where our point of need is. Don't just throw a blanket, disability is catered for, and then you're like, okay, that group, uko mwende nyuma attend to our sort. It's not fun.
I totally get what you're saying. And this is where now we have to break it down for them and say, listen, this is what I need. This is what my kid needs. And when the parent is happy, the child is happy.
Child is happy.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
So in as much as you're fighting a battle, you're trying to be Mother Teresa for all the Kenyans. It's really hard. when I tell you some days, I'm like, oh, I shake my head. But then there are so many organizations in Kenya. I've seen them popping up, autism this, autism that. And I'm like, okay, so what are you guys exactly doing?
Yeah.
Don't
Because the
just
other
have
thing
an
I'd like
to have an organization. Do something, do some. And the ones that have done some work, I can see people lobbying. I can see people speaking, yelling. I mean, I can count so many of them. But it's so important to just, any connections we can fight and get this through. I mean, the CS of health, she seems like a nice lady. I mean, she replies to me on Twitter. So I'm thinking, oh yeah, we need more, So we need to get together, see what's been done, put together documents, and like you said, you'll share, and we can go from there. But I need to bring you back for part 2 because I know a lot of parents are going to be asking. So for those parents that are not on social media, how are those being reached? Through radio or TV?
Well,
that for me is a very big deal. Not everybody is on social media.
I know, and that's a challenge. I know one other if you look at the 4 SDGs we champion for, that is health, education, inclusion, and partnerships. So I reach out to also other organizations so that you pass the information hands down. Because you see, even like for the medical project, I have people applying for medicine from Lamu because someone told. So that's why I always say, please share. You never know. Mama nani mwenye anaishi huko, maybe they know the child needs, but but she wouldn't have the time to go online. Our hands are full, but someone will, prompt them to know that this and this is going on. So we have to be our brother's keeper. When you're talking of TV, other than first of all, TV, radio. Right now, trust me, it's Autism Awareness Month. I was like, oh, we have this video. We want you to promote, let people know what autism. I'm like, no corona, no nothing. And you're like, excuse me, life still goes on, So like everyone is like, if it's not about corona, we don't want to hear it. So that's why we have to also retract and also rephrase our communication to channel it to the same. Because if you look at the structure how media houses are, and then there is also the challenge of like, which language will you go for? We have 40, how many tribes? Yes. So I know last year what we did, we had like therapists demystify autism in like your Luo. I would organize and partner with radio, with Royal Media. So I'd organize behind the scenes and tell you're an OT, you understand what autism is. I'm sending you to Ramogi at this time. Go talk in Jango and explain. But you see, now we couldn't do that this year. Yeah, because everyone was like, we. Practically, I wouldn't lie, for me, I watched my plans for April crumble. I was depressed for 2 weeks because I'm like, first, I adjust kids. Oh, my teenage is back. Okay, these are the 2. How do I start from? This is too sudden because normally you communicate and tell them you'll be home or school will close. Then within 24 hours, I had a child with a broken hand, and all these events went and you're like, my world just stopped.
It crumbled.
Even for us parents, we need to also take a moment to take a breather. Remember, without you, they can't be okay. For those who like wine, like, don't overdo it because you can get addicted. But just remember you. No, trust me, it's crazy. I'm telling you, I've had moments like my son is okay for a while, then he decides he's screaming and he has the highest pitch. You have people asking, is everything okay? Those. Yes, we have grown tough, but sometimes even you can feel it like you're going to lose it.
They're like, so, oh my gosh, let the world stop.
So what for me, for coping, what I decided, I'll try and also I'll do a day. I'm a teacher. We have too many issues we are feeling. Today, I'm a therapist, I'm a doctor, I am everything they need me in the house. Tomorrow, I am Sylvia. I'm going to the office, I'll try and work. Tomorrow, I'm going to be Mother Teresa, as we said. I will be thinking about everyone else. As much as I still get SMSs in the middle of the night from parents, we'll try help whoever we can. And guys, sometimes when you also need to understand, sometimes when you just see no response, remember, I also have my own that I'm taking care of. I'm in the same boat as you. I'm just extending the extra grace. Sometimes there is no grace left.
Oh, and the patience. You're like, oh, the olive branch died. You're like,
yes. So
I get it.
But check up on each other. You know, sometimes your phone rings the other days when people want you to go out, when people want. But even at this time, just ask, are you okay? You're fine. Okay. Nani amekuja?
Kuna mgeni
Yes.
amekuja.
Okay, Papa. Nakuja. I'm coming, baby.
Mgeni amekuja.
I will finish just now. Okay.
Oh, you need
that
to
is like we've been given a
so time out. Yeah, you've been set a timer for. So yeah, thank you, Sylvia. So you and I will chat offline, see when else we can come. And I'm sure there'll be questions. Let me see if there's any questions, but I know you have to go. Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of questions. So I'll compile those questions and then we can do part 2. Sawa.
Okay, no problem. Anytime.
Before the babies come calling you.
Before my door comes down.
They've been very good. Give them a treat. Tell them Auntie Cyndy said thank you. I know it's not easy, but thanks again for continuing to spread awareness, get parents to lobby. And let's hop on Twitter. Okay?
And one thing, I've just remembered, someone had asked on the wall about registering right now. National Council is not doing any registration because of social distancing. You can't access doctors, hospitals are no-gone. So unless it's an emergency, of which even if it's an emergency, the card will not be of help right now. Looking back to what I have explained, the card is not of much help right now. So for now, let's just focus on keeping our kids calm and whatever. When life goes back to normal, you can continue with the application. But for now,
awesome.
It's just not gonna help you. Don't stress about, oh, I need to register so that I can get this cash. The cash is not coming through the National Council. But we've also lobbied that so long as people have membership, not everyone can. I didn't even know my chief's camp until now when I had to do it. Now you know. In the report we've given a recommendation that the two ministries should merge and use each database, the one for Nyumba Kumi, the one for Inua Jamii, the one for people who are registered, even if they have to use Huduma, at least Huduma number we were writing, my child has this disability, That's true, so whatever resources they have, let them merge them to get maximum support so that we don't end up just, funds came, and then we know how it always disappears. So and you can we've linked, I know I've linked KAA on Andy Speaks page. You can do the same, so you can also check up updates on both sides, because sometimes it can take time because of the different time zones and we need feedback immediately. So that at least, and on Twitter, just follow us. I think it's Andy Speaks 4. There is always a debate every day. We are up against someone. Every day. Trust you me. So if now we come and we push, like when we had the tweet chat the other day, it was a big deal. Like the photo I took with the kids, it got to the Ministry of Health. Let's just try and think outside the box a bit and let the kids be part of it. As much as we're trying to shield them, remember we said numbers. If they don't see it, they don't understand it, they won't.
No.
Maybe if you want the artwork.
Maybe we should drop our kids off at the Ministry of Education and
one day we'll gather all of them. And okay, your people, if you won't listen, you want them to talk for themselves. Here they are. Please.
Babysit.
Feel free to engage them how much can be.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Sylvia. It was really awesome chatting with you. And we're almost at 1 hour, which is awesome. So you and I will chat and then
you're welcome.
Sawa. Awesome. Thank you so much again.
Okay.